Riley Crossman was a bright, artistic, and compassionate 15-year-old high school student from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Known for her love of art and creativity, she was deeply cherished by her family, friends, and community. Riley attended Berkeley Springs High School, where she was a sophomore. She dreamed of a future full of possibilities and was adored for her kindness and infectious smile. Riley's mother, Chantel Oakley, described her as a typical teenager who loved spending time with her friends, scrolling through social media, and expressing herself through her art. While her life was outwardly normal, Riley's home life had become complicated in the months leading up to her disappearance. Chantel had begun a relationship with Andy McCauley, a construction worker who moved into the family home. Though Riley reportedly had a good relationship with her mother, tension simmered in the household. On May 8, 2019, Riley failed to arrive at school. Chantel reported her missing later that day after realizing Riley had not contacted anyone and her social media activity had stopped, an unusual behavior for the teenager. In the hours leading up to her disappearance, Riley had been texting her boyfriend. Messages from the night of May 7 revealed Riley expressing discomfort about McCauley being in the house. She mentioned hearing strange noises and feeling uneasy. These messages would later serve as critical evidence in understanding the events leading to her tragic fate. A frantic search ensued, with law enforcement and volunteers combing the area. The community rallied to help, hanging missing person posters and organizing search parties. However, the days turned into over a week with no sign of Riley. Her disappearance left her small town gripped by fear and suspicion. On May 16, 2019, 8 days after she was last seen, Riley's body was discovered on a steep embankment along Tuscarora Pike in Berkeley County, West Virginia. The area was remote, and her body had been partially concealed. The grim discovery confirmed the worst fears of her family and the community. An autopsy revealed Riley had been suffocated. The cause of death, combined with the location of her body, pointed to foul play. The nature of her injuries and evidence at the scene suggested a deliberate act of violence. Investigators quickly zeroed in on Andy McCauley, Chantel Oakley's boyfriend, as the primary suspect. Several pieces of evidence implicated McCauley in Riley's death. McCauley's movements on the night of Riley's disappearance were tracked using cell phone tower data. The records placed him near the area where Riley's body was later discovered, directly contradicting his statements to investigators. McCauley's behavior during the search raised red flags. While he participated in the search efforts, investigators noted inconsistencies in his accounts and a lack of genuine concern. Investigators found forensic evidence linking McCauley to the crime. While specifics were not fully disclosed during initial reports, it became clear that the evidence was strong enough to warrant his arrest. On May 16, the same day Riley's body was found, McCauley was taken into custody. Despite his denials, the circumstantial and forensic evidence overwhelmingly pointed to his guilt. The legal proceedings against Andy McCauley began in earnest, drawing significant attention from the public and media. Prosecutors built a compelling case based on the timeline of events, cell phone data, and forensic evidence. The prosecution argued that McCauley had killed Riley in the family home before disposing of her body in a remote area. The defense attempted to cast doubt on the evidence, but the jury was unconvinced. In 2021, Andy McCauley was found guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For Riley's family, the verdict brought a measure of justice, though it could never erase the pain of their loss. The tragedy of Riley Crossman's death left an indelible mark on her family and community. Her family has worked to honor her memory, advocating for greater awareness of domestic violence and the risks young people can face in their own homes. Riley's story also sparked conversations about the importance of vigilance and the need for stronger protective measures in cases of family or domestic disputes. Community members continue to hold events and memorials in her honor, ensuring that her life and legacy are not forgotten.